Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the 6th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Resident Evil 5 for both PS3 and PS4. Like I've said in the last 5 videos, this works for both PS3 and PS4. I do know that this is mainly just covering how to get the bsaa emblems, as well as showing you easy methods of defeating the bosses. That way you just mainly have to worry about going through the levels themselves, and in doing so you can easily get most of the trophies, as well as some trophies that I will talk about probably in not this video but in the one that'll come after, which will probably be the final video, and that will go over almost everything else that is missed in the game. So anyways, we're just gonna jump right into it. Like always, we're going to make sure that we have everything we need. We have all our treasures sold and are ready to go. Check our money, all that good jazz. So immediately at the start is where we're going to find our first emblem. Alright, so once you spawn in, you're immediately going to want to turn around, and as you'll see right here up at the very top, there you have the first bsaa emblem out of the last 3 that you will need to get. Now, another thing I will mention is there's a specific, a specific gem or treasure that you'll have to get later on, and I'll point it out once we get to it. It'll be for killing a specific enemy at a spot, and then being able to make it all the way to that enemy without having to die or restart the checkpoint. So I'll go into detail about that in just a little bit, as it's not too far from where we are now. Alright, so just a short distance away from where you start, you'll find this little tower. It has 2 guys with stun rods that are throwing grenades at you. Now from here, you'll see that there is this guy right here. You basically want to kill him, and he will spawn the specific gem. I don't know if it will show it to you. As you'll see, it'll be right there. It is always a guaranteed spawn from him, but the issue is you have to actually make it to him. Then the other thing to note is the crane guy, who will drop the specific thing later on, which you can stop it now, just have to be aware of it. So you can take out some of these side enemies while you're here. But now we're going to move on to the next bsaa emblem. Alright, so you'll have this area, like I said, there'll be this giant cage right here, which will sometimes get dropped on Sheva. However, if you take out the enemies, then it won't happen. You will need at least a grenade launcher or a RPG of sorts. So all you're going to do is just throw the grenade into this left-facing container here, and that will get you the second bsaa emblem. Now, you are actually supposed to fight some enemies and get a key card in this area. However, due to how things go, as you can see, we don't need to get it, which is kind of weird. But basically, this should normally lead you to having to go and grab the specific treasure that I was talking about. It is a little weird, but normally you'd have to get the key card, come over here. As you can see right here, the treasure is sitting right there. I'm trying to see if I can show it off. But basically it is a opal, I believe the orange version. But yeah, so normally you're supposed to come over here and lift up the crane. That will free Sheva. So I will have to redo this stage and get it later, so keep that in mind. So now we can move on to the final bsaa emblem of the game, and probably just show off the last 2 bosses that you'll have to fight, both of which you can use an RPG on, one of which you will really have to hold it on to until the very end. So now I'm going to skip to those parts now. Alright, so in this room, after you go down a bunch of stairs and find the jailbreaker shotgun, it's just behind us. Not sure if you can actually go back or not. No, you probably can't. So from here in this room, you'll see up here in the top right is the last and final bsaa emblem. And just like that, you should get the Badge of Honor trophy. So as of now, I'm going to skip all the way to the very end of 6-2, and then I'm also going to be skipping all the way to the end of 6-3 after that. So yeah, a bit of jumping, I know, but there's not really much from here to those points to talk about. Not really any treasures or things of note. So yeah. Alright, so once you finally make it to the boss of 6-2, it'll be this big area. You're normally supposed to have this long, drawn-out process where you do a bunch of stuff, and then you have to get a very specific rocket launcher. But you can actually just use this one right here. So what you will have to do is you will have to actually get the big boss to show itself.
Watch out! It's firing off some sort of projectile!
So how this will work is you'll have to use
It's
this
all on you, Chris. I've got your back.
and fire like so.
Okay.
Come on!
Roger.
So eventually after it does get charged up again,
Are you okay?
you then will have this little cutscene show up, and then this is the thing that you can actually use the RPG on.
Are you okay?
If the game permits you to use it, of course. But as you can see, just like that, you will have beaten the boss. Pretty easy, I'd say. So now we can actually move on to 6-3, the final chapter of the game. From here, like always, you're going to want to make sure that you clear out any unnecessary things. Probably going to want to grab an extra first aid spray if you happen to have any, as this area is going to be a little tough enemy-wise. And we'll probably upgrade our pistol just a little bit, and the shotgun just so we have a little bit more ammo for free. And now we can move on, and like I said, I'm going to skip all the way to the very end, and what I mean by that is I'm going to keep that RPG that I have in the center all the way till the very end of the level, and it's a very specific spot, so trust me, you're going to want to do that. Now, if you happen to want to wait until you get to that point, that way you don't accidentally use it, by all means, as then you can purposely die, restart the checkpoint, and then pull it out of your stash. But I'm now going to skip to that, and I'll see you then. Alright, so after you have your little QTE fight with Wesker in the plane jet, you'll land here, can get some ammo, some other things like that. And there is a couple of things that you're going to want to do.
Okay.
And the main thing is, from the start right here, you're going to see this breakable object right here. You can shoot that, and it'll actually fall. There'll be a small cutscene.
Why can't you understand, Chris?
Fall back!
You will need to use a magnum or something strong. I guess a pistol just isn't good enough.
High ground!
So what you're gonna do is jump over here, and this will be the last treasure of the game that you can get. So if you just wait until Wesker starts jumping, you will then be able to cross and get back over to safety. There we go. Eventually, he should go up and start chasing Sheva. At this point, you should be able to start, like, shooting him.
Just hold on, Sheva.
Shoot him!
Hopefully we've given Sheva enough time to get up. Alright, so from here you now want to head down and around over to this left side. And I'm sure if you've seen any of the memes from this game, you'll know exactly what is going on here. And just like that, we'll now be getting onto the final stages of this. So now Sheva should be able to be on her way over.
The human race requires judgment. You're going to judge
So now
us?
from here,
You
we
get all
should
your
be on a
ideas from
straight path
comic
to
book
head
villains?
back into the middle. Gonna get our magnum out. I'm not gonna quite use the RPG just yet. But basically once you get into here... Alright, so you should have this moment where he jumps into the middle of the arena. So what you mainly are wanting to do is he has a weak point on his back that you're trying to hit. Like so. And then he'll get the weak point on his front, and that's where you want to shoot him. As you'll see when he turns around, right there. And just like that, you will then be able to easily beat Wesker. I was struggling with it for a bit. You'll then have a scene where you get into a helicopter, and with 2 more RPGs, you take him out, and you will have beaten Resident Evil 5. You will unlock some things. And you will also get 3 trophies in total, 1 for beating 6-3, 1 for beating the game on amateur, 1 for beating it on normal. You will unlock a bunch of stuff, as you can see. But now we can actually go into detail about some other things to talk about before we just jump into the last video. Like I said during that last chapter, what you're going to want to do is let that cage fall on Sheva so you can get that specific item, of course. Once you beat the game, you will unlock the ability to buy 2 specific things. Or so I thought. There's somewhere. I remember now. You have to fully upgrade the starting rifle, and the starting pistol will get you 2 other items that you will need. You will also need to buy the stun rod, so do keep that in mind. And I do think you need to have at least all different types of ammo for the grenade launcher for it to count. Obviously, we're going to give myself some things. And another thing is talking about costumes and things like that. Bonus features, of course. So as you can see here, you now have the ability to get some outfits and some things for free. You will also, I do believe, once you buy all of these, you should get the All Dressed Up trophy, which is pretty cool as well. The other stuff is you'll have these figures that you can buy. You will need to buy all of them, of course, but the main thing to talk about is going to be down here, and that is for getting infinite ammo on some things. Now, of course, I would like to have it on a different weapon, but you're going to need to fully upgrade whatever weapon that you would like to have infinite ammo on to get the items, of course. But I'm going to go into more detail about the rest of the stuff that you need to do. But as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.